Shatta House and Shatta Wale. We all know what has been going on over the past year. So they came together, they met each other, and they started linking up with themselves, vibing, and we are so happy with whatever picture it painted out there. Because over the years, there is something personally I've been talking about, that Shatta does not have any problem at all. He does not have. He's doing his thing. Shatta is also doing their thing. When it becomes proper that we do some things together, we will surely do it together. And now it was time. As part of Shatta Fest, Shatta House did the technical and logistic support for the event. And we want to say big shouts to them, because in all this, we were going the hard way with them, because Charlie, pressure everywhere. In fact, I was so happy when after one of the shows, Roland of Shatta House called me and said, Charlie, I understand that at a point you were putting pressures and you were not seeing anything, but you see, there is how we do our thing. So at that time, yeah, he told me plainly that he wasn't comfortable the way I was creating the impression like nothing was happening. But now I can see that everything is done. And once again, I want to say thanks to him as well. When it comes to work, it is like that. On the battlefield, we have to make sure we fight to get it right. When we are done, we come together as a family, we come together as friends, and that is what we achieve together. So after doing all these things, one would expect that after saying thank you to Momo, it would also be right for us to go say thank you to them. And that was why we went there. And I want to believe, whilst we were there, in our bid to say thank you to them, in our bid to fraternize with them, they also welcomed us. They assured us of their support. They assured us of the fact that there should be that unity between the industry. They also gave Shatta Wale his due, his flowers for his contribution for the industry. They admitted that Shatta Wale has been a contributing factor in Ghana's entertainment industry or Ghana's music industry. And therefore, whatever he is doing, they endorse what he's doing right, and as much as he is doing it for the benefit of himself and the industry at large, they are also with him. They welcomed us beautifully. Then one conversation came up, but before I go into that conversation, there are some excerpts out there. Some of them you might have seen on social media. I would want you to check some of them out, and I'll come back to tell you what really the conversation was about with TGMAs. That is Telecel Ghana Music Awards. Because right after the trip, most of the reports or commentaries we've seen out there, they are about TGMAs. People who are saying, oh, so Shatta Wale has gone to beg to be part of the VGMAs, or TGMAs rather. People who are saying, oh, so Shatta Wale has gone to Shatta House because he wants to be part of the TGMAs. I've seen some fans even agitating that, why would Shatta go? Charlie, sometimes they need you. But nobody knows better than Shatta Wale. And I'm sure that's why sometimes he says, Shatta is always right. Nobody knows better than him. He knows exactly what he's looking for. He knows exactly what he wants to achieve. And he spoke about it as well. And I want to believe when I come back, I'll tell you why and how and what is happening with Shatta House, TGMAs, so you don't get confused. Don't let anybody mislead you. Already, I've granted some interviews on radio. In fact, a couple of them. I've spoken on number of radio stations explaining our visit to Shatta House and what it means to them. But be a tibon cause for into yet they been TSA, they want to turn it for their own interest. But we are here. It is the reason God has also blessed us with our own platform to be able to educate, to be able to let the people know that this is what really is going down. So, Director, if you are ready, let's go check out some of the live actions from Shatta House, and I'll tell you what really we talked about as much as TGMA and Shatta Wale are concerned. Stay tuned.
The transportation fare.
I'm so happy you just accepted it like this.
For us, us, we are really here to support the arts, to support creatives, you know, much as people like to diss us and all of that, but really, we are number one friends, you know, because we are in there with you, we're in the ground with you, we understand the pain, we understand the challenges and all of that, and we are all together trying to make sense of this whole space, you know, so we are really great, you know, and the transportation
artists and what they've been able to achieve in their careers, it would be some way to put them in competitive categories. Because imagine maybe Shatta competing with some upcoming act, somebody who has done well in the year and the review and all of that. And then the upcoming act wins over him because of the dynamics of the game, which of course it cannot be manipulated in any way, or the academy and all of those. So looking at that, it may not be cool to put him in a category like that. So we're asking, is it possible that the scheme could look at categories that honor artists like him so that it is not competitive? So that if, for instance, in a year like this, that it is clear that Shatta has done well, I don't know what that category would be, but it is not competitive. It is an honor that can come with maybe a mini documentary, it can come with something else. If we can look at something like that, then everybody knows that for this year, this person is the one, just as you have for Lifetime Achievement Award, that award, if something can be looked at for acts like him so that it is not competitive per se. So we know that, look, this year, you look at Shatta Wale, or you look at Medical, or you look at ABCD, based on these metrics, this person ought to be given this honor. And then all the media and everything that goes with that honor. And I think, you know, it would work both ways. It would be good for the artists, it would also be good for the scheme and for the fan base and everybody. So that we do not always put everybody in that competitive category, but there are some that have worked, and when they worked hard, and that work can be picked out and honored. Because you know, sometimes when it comes to the competitive categories, various dynamics come to play, and fan bases can just go and then move and all of that. When sometimes the board will want to go one direction, academy may go one direction, public may go one direction, then that is where the controversies are created. So here is just an appeal being made. If something can be looked at, a specialized category for acts like him who have done well, have excelled and are up there, you know, so that you don't just put all of them in that platter. And then at the end of the night, they are still in that auditorium. Their names are mentioned as nominees, but their awards go to other people. I know it's not the practice in other parts, but we can be the pace setters. We can start this, and who knows, other countries may emulate and also start awarding their artists in that direction. So it's an appeal that I'm making. That I
think it's a suggestion, and we can only take it to the board for discussion. But one thing I know is that the Television Ghana Music Awards is an evolving scheme, and for 25 years and beyond, now 26 years, that this year was 26 years and beyond. What it looked like when we started is not what it looks like now. Yes. The categories we started with and all the various things that we did have evolved with the changing society. So it's a good suggestion. And every year what we do is we always sit down and look at the industry, and we look at what's happening, what are the trends, what's new, so that we are up to date, so that we don't get...
Well, so those were some of the excerpts from the Shatta House visit. And I must say, after all this said and done, many people are still getting it wrong. Maybe they did not understand what George Quay was trying to expatiate there. Maybe they did not get George Quay's message to the CEO of Shatta House, in this case, Teresa Ayu, at the end. This is where I want to come in. First of all, George Quay, again, is not begging for Shatta to be given an award. I think we have to get it right. George Quay is not begging for Shatta Wale to be given an award. What George Quay meant to say was that Shatta has gotten to a certain stage in his life, in his career. Okay, let me say in his career, that he does not need to come and compete with most of these budding musicians, most of these up and coming musicians, because where he's gotten to, like he has been saying, were through goodness and mercy. And we should pray that he doesn't get to Sheol, because when he gets to Sheol, we are dead. Also, the word do goodness and mercy. Now, you're trying to do surely goodness and mercy, and we are dead. So, as it starts, where he's got into, What again is he going to look for it? Vote for me to win Artist of the Year. Dial *17. No. Like look at it. Shatta is saying vote for me. Dial *1.7. The another one too is saying vote for me, and he is going to compete with Shatta. No, he does not need that. So George Quay was putting out a suggestion that says that okay, because someone like Shatta cannot come and compete with the people, if it is possible, when the award scheme is coming, can we say, oh, this year we want to honor Shatta in a way? We want to give him most impactful musician of the year. We want to give him the most deben musician. BB, Sally Shatta too can be part of the awards. But even with that, I'm not sure to Shatta that is the end game. I'm not sure to Shatta that is the dream. No. The dream proper was what was discussed. And I think earlier, right after the conversation with Chatterhouse indoors, when we came out, some journalists who were there, Kwesiama, who now owns KDN TV, caught up with me. And he also asked same questions as to what really we are doing there. What the aim, what the goal is for Shagzy to do business with Chatterhouse. Shatta is not asking to be honored. What honorary again? In fact, at the moment, if you want to honor him, then think about something beyond awards. Something valuable beyond awards. For awards there, maybe you quite good fee. So it was not as if George Quay was begging on behalf of Shatta for Chatterhouse to give him award. No, he doesn't need the awards. What he needs is collaborations. And in this time, or in these times, business collaborations. Apart from that, nothing else. So I answered Kwesiama in this interview some of the prospects between Shagzy and Chatterhouse, and that is the goal. That is the conversation. So get it right. If someone really asks you, so what is Shatta looking for from Chatterhouse? Tell the person he's looking for prospects, business collaborations between Chatterhouse and Shagzy. They even want to make sure that whenever there is the scheme, with Chatterhouse TGMA, they have a way of putting the celebrities, the nominees.
Yeah. This is your boy, Wale Music TV. Say subscribe my channel, so wanna subscribe him. If you wanna click bell no do, na me the video be out tomorrow. I want the first person about share. If you wanna drop a comment was Wale Music TV. Yes, Shatta Wale ni TV. I have more Shatta Wale ni news. Na update. Everything be a friend Shatta Wale who be a once a back on the more platform me do. Into bomb more than subscribe. Next share. Now brother and our system who edumede in Wale Music TV. Video be able post on what had they be a by Shatta Wale. Inti say Shatta Wale no fan quoting there. Blend bete good news. Blend never share. Never subscribe. Now brother and our system who edumede in the more platform me do. Video be able post on what had they be a by Shatta Wale. Inti say ejun di day Shatta Wale fan quoting there. Blend bete good news by Shatta Wale. Ne bomb than share. Now brother and our sister who edumede in Wale Music TV. Thank you.